Hello, everybody. I am going live today with no intro. This wasn't a planned live at all, so I don't know how many people are going to show up. Hopefully, a few. We'll let it stream in and figure out what's going to go on. I was just on as a guest. I'll get you guys a link to that. I was just on a guest show where we talked about vampires, occult, and all sorts of the strangeness. So I'll get you a link for that if you guys want to check that out at some point. But we are going to be talking about Charlie Kirk. And hopefully some people will stream in. Like I said, this was totally not planned. So I don't know if anyone will show up. It's sort of against the norm. It's Tuesday, Thursday, but I thought I'd do some mention, and I have a few videos that I want to show you, kind of talking about who I think is in on this and analyzing what we know so far. Oh, thank you, Incognito. Hello. That's so great. So this isn't really a theme to the podcast. I probably won't upload the audio or anything like that, but I'm going to put in the YouTube comments for anybody who's there, the link to the show I was just on. It ran live, so you can check it out. It's a great podcast, The Supernatural Truth Project. It is run by two reverends, and they tuned into my show the other day, so they asked me to come on, and I said, absolutely. So check it out, The Supernatural Truth. And I had lots of fun, and they asked if I'd come for a part 2, which I said absolutely, 100%, no problem. So you might enjoy that one. Now, I think most of you have already heard about I can't even say tragic or unfortunate, just the horrible news out of Utah that Turning Point USA founder, political figure Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Assassinated while he was at the university here in Utah. It's clearly assassination, and we'll go over this stuff. Jonocide. Okay, so Jonocide's going to watch it later. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi, Jonocide. You can watch it later. It's probably not going to be long. Probably won't even be an hour. I've got some clips, some stuff to say about it. Many of you have probably already known a long time ago. I seen when it had first happened, the video footage. Now, I'm not going to actually play the actual footage of the actual assassination. You can go watch that. It's all over the place. And as soon as I saw it, I knew he was gone. He was dead. And I knew it was a fatal shot. And I was trying to explain it to my husband, and because he's a truck driver, he's driving, he couldn't see it. I think he thought, oh, well, he might be okay. Maybe he'll get through it. And I was like, no. And once my husband saw the footage of the shot, he was like, oh no. We agreed Charlie was probably dead before he hit the ground. Now I'm going to read to you what my husband said. I'm going to kind of paraphrase what my husband said he thinks happened, because my husband was in military. He was in the Navy intelligence. He's been a paratrooper. He was a police for 10 years. He was a sniper. So he was trained to be a sniper and SWAT team. So he's trained as a sniper. So he understands when he sees something like this, he can tell that it was a job from far away. He kind of gives his opinion on what he thinks happened. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's 100% right, but it's pretty good. So there was a guy, and I'll show the clip of him. It's really quick. He was arrested initially, but everybody knew him in the area. They even named his name. The guy wasn't the one who did it. So I'll show you a quick clip of them arresting him. Now, and there was also clips of him as they were leading him out. He was literally screaming, shoot me now, and nobody could figure out why. He's an older guy. He was a false alarm. Everybody was reporting that it was some liberal boomer, but he's actually known. He goes to Republican events all the time. He's probably not a liberal. So that was false on there. There's people who say, no, I know he shot from the crowd. And it's clearly a shotgun shot. My husband could tell. And there's no way anyone would be able to have that in the audience. It was from afar away. So I'm going to, you guys can go check out the shot yourself. I'm not going to play it here because I don't want to get striked as violence. But my husband said, here's my take from my 2 quick views on the video, and he's viewed it since. He says, it was an assassination. It was a sniper with a silenced rifle. That's why you didn't hear a very loud shot. It's lower. And why he bled the way he did and died immediately. I believe it was supposed to be a headshot, and the shot went lower for whatever reason. He said the bullet severed his spinal cord, which basically is what killed him and made him a ragdoll instantly. I could be completely wrong, but that's my educated guess so far. He says this is vibing like October 7th in Israel, and to me, it's a false flag. They want us to start a civil war, and Charlie was popular and an easy target for assassination, compared to, say, Trump or J.D. Vance. Plus, Trump just spanked Israel over Qatar, so maybe that's a message as well. It could be a former sniper. I could be wrong. It's just an initial take. And whoever was on the roof, I'll show you that video in a minute, is probably not the shooter unless they MK Ultra'd someone. A real sniper would never be out in the open. Snipers hide. So here's the shot of the roof that he's talking about.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying.
So that's the shot there. I'm going to upload some more still images that I forgot to upload. And that's what my husband was talking about. So it's definitely someone shooting from far away, not in the audience, because you know, it wasn't a handgun gunshot, and there's no way you could hide that. So here's another shot here, and that's the guy on the roof. But there's also a guy down here, and he seems to be pointing up somewhere else away. So that's interesting. That's an interesting shot. Right there. I don't know what to think about that. We are going to be going to X in a second because there's a lot of energy there. I don't particularly like to do these political shows, but remember I was talking about the Fate model and how they brainwash us and how they traumatize us. I was talking about it yesterday. And this is sparking that. This is sparking psyops. It's sparking the early stages of it. It's saying, you know, they've shown us a very graphic image, and they know that people will record it. And whether you're filming it live or not, they know lots of people are going to be filming this. People were not just, you know, a far away image or an image of a stretcher. We literally got the up close image of Charlie Kirk's. Literally, it hits and it just explodes the blood out the side of his neck. And like my husband said, his spinal cord was severed. Hi, Kirby. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. And we were talking because a lot of people yesterday were upset about the death of that Ukrainian girl. And I find it upsetting. But I was saying, like, we can't let them bring our vibrations down. Like, we can't let them do this because it makes us despair. And it puts us in a bad position. And this is what these crazies want to do. Is put us in that bad position. And it's the same with Charlie Kirk. You need to mourn people. Obviously, we need to mourn Charlie and pray for his family, because I can't even understand how devastating this situation must feel for them. And so I'm going to show you this image because it's a little complex. We're going to go, let's just pop us into here. And sorry, I don't have everything really set up because I wasn't planning actually to do a stream today. I was just on a guest, and yeah. There's a lot of weird things happening. Apparently, Jezebel published an Charlie Kirk assassinated they were publishing a thing on a witch curse that was done on Charlie Kirk. That was literally their story. Let's see. We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. That's literally what Jezebel said at 9:49 a.m. And they've turned off replies. Get me the link to those witches. This is the thing about the left. They're celebrating it. They're mentally ill. When they don't get their way politically, they get violent and they try to kill people. So I can't even. Yeah, my husband's saying, just like you said on your show last night about psyops, this is the start of a psyop where they show you graphic stuff to get you emotional and call for fast action. So somebody wants fast action. They want us to make something, whether it's laws or lockdowns. They want to target lefties. I don't know what it is, but the lefties' behavior is sure disturbing. Let's just put it that way. So they literally published an article this morning, hours before, no, 2 days ago. Sorry, it wasn't this morning, 2 days ago, saying they paid Etsy witches on Etsy to curse Charlie Kirk. And remember this, if you guys are part of the occult and you're part of this thing, you know this stuff comes back on you when you do this negative stuff. It comes back on you. It does. So here's what they said. This is so disturbing. If they said anything. Read more. The internet has ruined me in 1,000 ways, but one of its strangest gifts is that I can now buy a curse as easily as I can buy a phone charger on the mystical website Etsy. You can find a spell for just about anything. I don't want it to rain on your wedding day? There's a spell for that. Want a man who cheated on you to develop an incurable rash or premature balding? The Etsy coven has you covered. But the internet has its downside. Exhibit A, Charlie Kirk. Maybe it's his obsession with telling women what to do, which he doesn't. Like, these people make shit up about him, or his aggressively large head. But the far right, he's not a far right. He's just a conservative. Podcaster's presence is more irritating than most. That's when I remembered. There's Etsy. These days, witches cater to more than just personal grudges, and it's not uncommon for them to channel their energy towards thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Trump. Are you interested in punishing Kirk for the years of aggressive rhetoric he shouted at America's youth? Aggressive rhetoric. He literally debates with people. Do you see how insane they are? Kirk goes to universities and allows people to debate for them, and then he takes apart their arguments. That's called a debate. That's not aggressive. You psychopathic bitches at Jezebel. They're Jezebels, all right. They're Jezebels, all right. If you've never heard of him, I envy you, okay? So what? The ethics of cursing a stranger. Now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. So here we are in the gray area. So basically, they're saying freedom of speech is unethical because you can't let them keep talking. This is what a lot of this stuff is about, is shutting people up and making people afraid. These bitches are crazy. Maybe we should shut you up, Jezebel, you big whore. I want to make it clear, I'm not on dark forces to cause him harm. Yeah, well, you are. You're an immature, spoiled brat, psychotic bitch. If you don't like what he's saying, then you don't have to listen to him. So she paid money for someone on Etsy. The options were endless. Should I try karmic revenge, same day bad luck curse, or insanity hex? Or my personal favorite, hex Republicans. The reviews were their own kind of magic. One 5-star review for a career crusher curse read, "She has such a sweet, charming, bubbling personality." Oh my God. Then I found the crown jewel, shit your pants spell. Like, these people are mentally immature and retarded. Review, it really worked, thank you. At that point, it was clear I'd need to order multiple curses at different severity levels and price points to guarantee results. After placing my first spell, make everyone hate him, I think everyone's going to hate you, lady. See how these spells come back to you? See how this happens? I was left with more questions than answers. How long would it take to kick in? Should I have splurged for a pricier spell? No, I think you should go get a lobotomy. I think you should have saved some money up for that, sister. Wow. This is literally somebody. I can't believe I'm reading this to you guys doing a curse. Sorry, you guys can't even see it because it's not shown on the screen, but I'm reading it to you here. So I'll continue reading it to you. For the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. The witch performed the hex, but her response was unsettling. She said, I just completed your spell and it was successful. You will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. However, I did notice disturbances, negative energy not only from you, but projected at you, likely from toxic family members, coworkers, or new acquaintances. Wow. So they got her to now give more money. That's just the upsell to purchase a protection spell. Then she says, I reached out to a third witch, Priestess Lilin, for clarification. She explained the differences in prices aren't really about better, faster magic, but the complexity of the spell work. Some workings are small, focused, intentional, with minimal tools, while others are more intricate, involve rare ingredients. The next day, the priestess sent me her proof of a cast, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curving to inwards, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous scrunched up little face. She whispered, trust the unseen. I'd timed the purchase perfectly with the August new moon in Virgo. According to the astrology girls on TikTok, this specific new moon is perfect time for performing new habits and aligning goals. My personal goal, cursing Kirk. The stars were aligned. Monday, still nothing. August 24th, nothing happened. So she did this in August, and it's about 3 weeks later. They said it took 2 to 3 weeks. Tuesday rolled around. I began to wonder if I'd been scammed. But then I reminded myself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. By Wednesday, I checked Charlie's socials to see if he was spouting anything new. And of course he was. This time he was weighing in on Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah. It dawned on me, the witches didn't even need to curse him. The Swifties will handle him now. Do you see how childish and immature these people are? Wow. So basically, she said the witch told her this would take 2 to 3 weeks to work. And then here it is. He's been assassinated. That is insane. I'm going to put that article in the chat for you guys. Sorry I didn't pop it up on the screen. I didn't change my screen. It's right here. Red Pill Preacher, thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for coming in on this one. But witches 3 weeks before this cursed him in a curse, an Etsy curse that they said would take 2 to 3 weeks to work, and then he was assassinated. Is that psychotic? Is that weird? I don't know. I mean, I believe that this was a psyop and planned by a professional and possibly by a certain country. And I'm going to show you some clips telling you why the country of Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem is so important strategically. And you'll understand the fuss about it afterwards. You'll understand the real fuss. And it's not a religious thing either. It's never religion. The system always tries to make us think they're about religion, but they never are. So that was the curse. Psychotic feminists are cursing people to their doom. On it, I mean, if this was like 150 years ago, they would be in prison. This kind of craft would be illegal. They would be like arrested and put in jail. It's all sorts of insane. It's all sorts of crazy. So let's go back to my bookmarks. Now, Kash Patel, which is really interesting, Kash Patel is saying the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. We will provide updates when able. Now, Carlin, she was on the show a while back. She was doing a live stream, and in the live stream, they said they had someone of interest. They didn't know that they had a suspect. So when he announced this, so he is saying the subject. He doesn't say, because on the live stream, they said the shooter's still at large, but now they have a subject. So apparently they do have a subject. The supernatural truth. I'm just streaming about Charlie Kirk. I don't normally stream tonight, but I thought I would. And I just gave you guys a link. Witches were doing a curse on Etsy on Charlie Kirk. One of those Jezebels from Jezebel got them to do a curse 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they were told it would take 2 to 3 weeks to happen. And then this happens. I don't think they're responsible. I think this was a setup, professional job. But yikes. So they already turned him loose. They still don't have the perp. Latest update is that they detained 2 people so far, both let go. Yeah, and someone was showing this online, and I'm not sure if it's true or not. They were showing this guy. This was just a person of interest, Zachariah Ahmed Qureshi. So, and apparently, I was listening to someone and he knew Charlie Kirk, and he said that a month ago, Charlie Kirk had just expressed concern for his life because he was allowing people to speak out against Israel. He had expressed concern that they would try to assassinate him, that Israel would. And I forgot the name of the guy who said it, and I didn't screenshot it. Damn. So with all these wars and stuff, remember, Holy Land, all this stuff, most of the people out there aren't spiritually pure, good people who want us to be happy. These politicians are evil, and nothing's ever, they'll say it's about religion. They'll say, we have to do this. The Bible tells us so. But for them, it's not about religion. It's about something darker. It's about money and oil and power. And that's what they want. And they just tell you it's religious to get you to go along with it because you have your Bible and you have your stuff that you believe, but they don't care about that. And I think that's what's happening here. I'm going to show you this video. It was by Jordan Maxwell. You may or may agree with him or not. That's up to you to choose, but I'm going to show you what he said about why United States has such interest in Jerusalem anyways. Let's see if I can get this video. Where is it? Here it is.
State of Israel, incredible amounts of money. Why? There's something else going on here, and they haven't told you the whole story. If you were looking down from a satellite, looking down onto the earth, or even higher out than a satellite would be, you would see that the largest single landmass on the earth is from Russia, from the northeast tip of Russia, all the way across to central West Africa, to the West African coast. Then from England, Ireland, England, all the way across to India. And you crisscross the largest single landmass on the earth. That cross comes right through the city of Jerusalem. That's where it crosses. And so the old ancient Phoenician Canaanites, being the bankers, they said, if you're coming through town to do business, Jack, you're going to pay us up front. And so whoever controls Jerusalem controls the flow of oil, drugs, all kinds of products, the flow of gold, diamonds, all the valuable things in the world goes through Jerusalem. That's why it's the holy city. Money, international, monetary world situation set up so that all money, all flowing of business, commerce goes through Jerusalem. That's the name of the tomb. And that's why Jerusalem is so important to the American people. Now, you've got to give the people a reason why Israel is so important. Now, we know that Israel is very important because of strategically where it sits on the trade routes to control the flow of oil, drugs, diamonds, and a lot of drugs in Israel, going through Israel. Major movements of illicit narcotics and drugs through Israel. And diamonds, gold, money, etc., etc. But you've got to give the people who are going to go over there and lose their lives and give their sons in war, you've got to give them a reason. So we tell them that it's religious. It's the Lord's chosen people, the Lord's people. And the Lord himself has chosen Israel. And we give them a line. You'd be surprised what Americans love. They love that kind of stuff. And so we tell them, it's the Lord's will. And the Lord Jesus was there, and all the great prophets and all of that. And so we have to protect that little country, Israel, because it's the Lord's will. So I believe that all of these things which are happening right now in the Middle East there are many factors involved, obviously. It's not just oil. It's not just money. Those are the cards on the table. When you're laying out the game and you're going to play a game, a high-stakes game, say in Las Vegas, where hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars are laying on the table, and you're playing a high-stakes game, you're going to have the cards you've got that you're playing. Well, one of the cards that's being used in this high-stakes game is, of course, oil. One of them is, of course, drugs. Drugs are very big business in the Middle East and in Europe, and so I feel that the drugs are one card, oil is a second card, the control of money, banking, fraternities, controlling the flow of commerce and business in the world, that's another card on the table. But above the cards are the players only using the cards. And I think the players in this world game that's being laid out for us now are guided not by the cards. They're guided by something else. There's something else going on here. And it has to do with secret societies and ancient religions.
Okay, there you go. That was Jordan Maxwell telling us why Jerusalem is an important strategy, and I thought better for him to tell you than me. And of course, he links it to these ancient societies, these ancient cults, and whatnot. Now, I'm not going to go down that path with Charlie Kirk, where we get that deep, not today. And this is not a long stream, but when my husband saw it, he knew right away that it was definitely someone who knew how to be a sniper and how they shot. Because with a sniper, that you're supposed to shoot in this area here, because that's an instant, like it just, you shoot you in there in the brain, it just shuts you down. But this, when they probably just missed a little bit, he might have moved back or something. This was an instant kill too, because it severed he was dead instantly. There was all these reports at hospital, they were giving him blood, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? They literally, when they shot him there, they probably severed his spinal cord, so he was gone. It was a death shot. There was no surviving that. No. I mean, he was probably dead when he hit the floor, when he hit the ground, and it's so tragic. So they've released, but we have the audience saying that. Let's go back in because we have some comments I want to go through here. Supernatural Project, that's the show I was just on. Please go and subscribe. Check out my video there. Great channel. Had a great time live. KY said Sean said they already turned him loose and still don't have a perp. And then RS Harmful said latest update is that they detained 2 people so far, both let go. And yeah. And people are in doubt that they'll find the real perpetrator. They seem to be gone. Then they said they have a video of the shooter, which I just showed, now on the rooftop and then running away. And then they're saying a subject that was in question was apparently trans. They said it shows a long rifle on the person has on the rooftop, and then police scanner reported the shooter also. Bottom line was this was planned. Security was horrible. Again, if indeed that was the shooter's location. Apparently, Charlie Kirk had his own security with him. So he takes security to all these events, but why they don't secure and look at rooftops, I don't know. If that they don't consider it that serious. We're going to go through some more X posts. Let's see. We have I want to show you this one because I want to get into talking about how crazy the Democrats are. And these unhinged lefties who are cheering for his assassination are saying, well, he said racist. They make up that he says stuff he never said. So he basically deserves death. They see words because they are so retarded and they've convinced themselves that words are violence. They think that facilitates. They have the right to murder someone. They think that's okay. And they always say they're fighting for democracy. And in truth, whenever they do stuff like this and they hurt someone, kill someone, assassinate someone for speaking what they feel, they are actually destroying democracy. Because part of democracy is the freedom to say what you feel. So they're destroyers of democracy, even though they declare not to be. They're the destroyers of democracy. And so Representative Lauren Boebert requested a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk. And the Democrats can be heard shouting, no, we don't want that. No. So here, let's play this clip of the Democrats having a temper tantrum. I'm just going to make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, okay, good.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Shh.
They're upset because someone wants a silent prayer for someone.
Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order.
You know, 40 years ago, this wouldn't even be a question. People would just pray.
The House will be in order.
Do it.
We will join prayer right after this, okay?
Only demons would be upset that someone wanted to pray for the health and life of somebody who had just been shot. Only psychotic demons would do that. We have Woo Riders. Thank you for joining the show again. Best believe they have a video of the shooter fleeing. The surveillance they keep on all of us is beyond belief. I know. It's so funny. They can find all these people in the J6, but they can't. We don't know where the shooter went. We don't know what happened. We don't know. We can't find it. And the one thing I worry about is that this actually allows people to, tech companies to usher in more surveillance, more controls, more restrictions. And the lefties might find themselves in, even facilitating their own demise. Some of the stuff I've seen on, I don't even want to. Someone was showing Destiny. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He makes me sick. He makes me sick. I don't even like the guy, but someone was showing him going, well, he deserved it kind of thing. Isabella Maria De Luca, we don't have a gun problem. We have a Democrat problem. Yo, for sure. Okay, let's go in and type Charlie Kirk and see what the latest news is that anyone has. This just happened today. Charlie Kirk murdered, Colorado school shooting. Poland got NATO to invoke Article 4 after Russian drones in their airspace. Donald Trump got angry at Israel for attacking Hamas leaders in Qatar. Nepal overthrew its government. Protests in France over a new prime minister. And 9/11 is tomorrow. Yeah, and this is just before 9/11. I don't know if that's a meaning. So this person works at Whole Foods. Joy Angela Luttrell writes, and apparently this is her wife, I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It's rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe. Literally, Charlie Kirk in 2023, when asked about mass gun violence, so yeah, he thinks it's worth it. Guys, he's happy to be part of statistics, so y'all can have your guns. Don't worry about giving him your thoughts or prayers. This is what he wanted. Yeah, these people are crazy because we all know that a lot of the gun violence is being done by Democrats. And Democrats who have been MK Ultra, who are mentally ill, who are possessed, who are totally immoral. And when they don't get their way, they're literally like, die. Okay, so Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, who will be on tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by. He says, speculation on a news talk show, professional hit, and the shooter utilized the nearby airport. He only had like a team of 6 security people. Yeah. It's possible. My husband, like I said, he used to be a sniper, and as soon as he saw it, he's like, yeah, it's a hit. And they should be able to see this guy wherever he goes. If they can't, then, that's sus. That's totally sus. Listen to this, bitch. Fun fact, Charlie Kirk actively fantasized about abusing his daughter. I feel bad for his kids, but absolutely for the better for them. Anyone who... Let's tell her you're an evil, psychotic... That's right. That right. Bitch. Here we go. We did that live. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff here that is not. Samuel Tumin. Okay, that's not even in. So I don't know what the translation is. It's not giving me the option to translate. Oh, and yeah, the MSNBC, he gets shot and he's dead. And they start literally basically saying, well, he's divisive. No, you're divisive, MSNBC. You're the ones who divide people and report false stories and make people hate each other. That's you. You're divisive. If anything, Charlie Kirk was a man who went in, spoke his ideas, and allowed people to debate him and speak their ideas. And then he would just unpack their arguments. There's people like, fuck Charlie Kirk, like, people are sick in the head. Wired in Spanish. He was not a politician, duh, but he was a political figure. I'm being rude to people tonight. There's just too many stupid people. The thing is just because you disagree with someone, nobody deserves to be assassinated. It doesn't matter. Not even Destiny, who I can't stand, who I think deserves a lot of karma for being an evil douchebag. He doesn't deserve it. And man, oh man. The Yankees have done a tribute to him, saying, remembering Charlie Kirk. They gave him an honor of silence. Let's see. I'm going to check out what Alex Jones has said about this. But remember last night, it's so weird that we were talking on the show and we were talking about how they mind control us, how they do these psyops. We're in the first few stages of it. We're in this first few stages where they're controlling our mind with the fear images, where they're getting us to focus on this and be afraid, be angry. They've got the emotional reaction. They'll probably put some appeal to authority out there somewhere, I'm sure. And it's tribal. It's already tribal. It's Democrats versus Republicans. That's a given. It's just one insane, abusive psyop after another. Let's say, can we not? Okay, so let's see. Let's check out what Alex said.
I was sitting in this parking lot going home. I started crying a few months ago. Charlie Kirk was a really sweet person when I first met him. Back in 2016 at the RNC in Cleveland. He was so young. He had to be like 20-something years old then, so happy, so full of life. He had big plans, how he was going to galvanize all the kids on campuses to vote Republican, wake them up to communism. And they killed it with a high-powered rifle. Classic stuff, it's like crooks in Pennsylvania, running around the roof, nobody's doing anything. And they shot him and killed him. And the left's celebrating it. And, you know, all the Democrats calling for violence. It's just everything else is just sick filth. You know, Charlie Kirk really is a hero. And a family man and somebody that had a real vision. And the left and the globalists have really screwed up because, look, there's safety in numbers. And I was honest in videos I posted. I said, I don't do a bunch of public events. I don't go to colleges because I guarantee you, if I went out for a year, 10, 15 events, I'll get shot dead. And I'm not scared of dying, but I can digitally and cyber level, you know, really counter the globalist. And I remember telling people, like I even said it on air, I said, man, I was surprised Charlie Kirk's not dead. Because the left can't deal with this. And he knew what he was doing. He put himself out there on the front lines, and he got millions of votes for Trump.
I think that it's not really just the left per se. They're celebrating it because they're psychotic little brats, like I said, that think if someone says something they don't like, it's violence. So that warrants them to be actually really violent. That's how crazy they are. I don't think Alex Jones is going to say this, but it definitely has something to do with Israel because Charlie Kirk was funded by them. Usually the ones closest to you are one who you should look up, but he was allowing people to speak out against a lot of the Gaza stuff and everything. He was allowing different opinions, and I don't think they like that because he was super influential on younger people. Anyways, let's keep.
And people that bitch and complain about Trump say he's not getting the whole agenda done quick enough or whatever. He's getting so much done. It's amazing. It doesn't matter. It's about the team he brought forward and about the fact that we know Kamala Harris, the Democrats, are absolute criminal, pedophile enablers. And it's about the RFK Juniors, the Tulsi Gabbards, and the Charlie Kirks. You know, the left knew they couldn't attack Charlie Kirk frontally, so they kind of put out stories about this and that. He wasn't hardcore enough. He wasn't better enough. A lot of people picked it up. I just said, listen, he's getting people registered to vote Republican. And they're night and day to Democrats. They're not perfect. They're night and day. So he wasn't afraid to face evil. He wasn't afraid to put his life on the line. And I'm not the guy to act tough. Charlie Kirk had more courage than me. I've been honest about this on air. And I wouldn't even call it courage because I'm willing to die. I do a lot of events and go out and get attacked. And I'm just saying, you go out on a regular basis and you're an Alex Jones or Charlie Kirk around the country for years, I mean, somebody's going to shoot at you. And I've had my security, other security firms just say, Jones, you shouldn't even do it when I do it. I have to do it when I have to, when there's a lockdown or some incredible border tyranny and they're smuggling kids and I went and confronted cartels, you know, all that. Stop me. I mean, I'll do what I have to. But also understand, as a brain trust, I've got to kind of stay alive. And Charlie Kirk knew that, but he decided to, Christ-like, put it all on the line. And man, like watching that Ukrainian woman bleed to death and nobody help her. And then watching Charlie get hit by that high-powered rifle in the neck. was such a blast wave. It makes his whole shirt go crazy. So I thought it was hitting the chest. I'm just like, damn, that's a man right there, man. That's a fucking man right there. He was smart. He knew it was coming. But he was so energetic and so positive.
Okay.
And we all say, this person.
That's enough of that. So he's saying this is why.
Rising wages, stable families. Political radicalism needs a catalyst. Political radicalism does not come out of peace, prosperity, rising wages, stable families, church attendance, and happy people. Happy people, grateful people do not get behind Vladimir Lenin, and they certainly don't get behind Chavez or Castro.
That's right.
People that own nothing, that feel like their property is diminishing, or they don't have property, or their dollar is diminishing in value, they start to look for alternatives. And so the political project in front of us as conservatives should be, how do we actually de-radicalize the country in the next couple of years? That's my obsession. And that's why I say I try not to think about all this other stuff, because it just, it's so much brain space. My number one obsession is I know what is coming next. Political radicalism needs a catalyst. Political radicalism does not come out of peace, prosperity, rising wages.
Let's pause that. He knows what's coming next, which doesn't mean people start assassinating. But this doesn't look to me like some random, and people have said it in my comments, it does not look like some random lefty. There's no random lefty kid shoots like that. That's someone who knows how to do a sniper shot from afar. And like my husband said, snipers don't put themselves in view. They hide. They make sure no one can see them. So that guy on the roof could be a red herring. Remember that. He could be a red herring to trick everyone. This is 20. I don't want to play a 21 minute. Here's the video. This is another video footage. Oh, there he is over there. Oh, that's dizzying.
Getting right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's
if his assassins, people are reporting them leaving in an airport, that means this was planned and his escape was planned. Let's do another video here. Whew, that's so sad. That's so sad. Yeah. I think I don't think it was just some random lefty. Here's another video here. We'll check this out.
I just got a call 5 minutes ago from a very trusted source who's never been wrong, connected to 3-letter agencies, who's very close to people that were on the ground there when Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah today. And he died a long time ago. So he's dead. And I got a call saying, where are you getting your info? He might be alive. And I said, I'm getting off the news. They said, no, he's dead. That's directly from people on the ground. I'll leave it at that. Very close to Charlie. So they killed him. The left killed him. And I get the family and others are.
I don't know why he keeps saying the left, but I don't think the left and right dynamics is appropriate anymore. I think these are power people way above the left and right that are making this happen.
Always thinking of what they're going to say or what they're going to do, but you see that footage. They say clearly from the report, the rifle and all the rest of it, high-powered rifle. They said because the reason his chest lifts up is just the
force
effect that the bullet and high speed creates, but hit him in the neck. And Charlie's dead. But if the left thinks this is going to intimidate us to shut up, they got another thing coming. Charlie was out there at the campuses getting millions of young people to vote for Trump. And the left cannot allow this. And John Podesta's plan was, if Trump got reelected, to launch a civil war. So it's live now.
Yeah, John Podesta needs to be dealt with if that's the case.
Everybody should really be watching now. They're going to try to kill Trump again. Just God bless you all, and God bless Charlie Kirk. He died like a Viking king, sword in his hand, the war.
Okay. Alex Jones announces that he's going to do a nationwide tour of universities for Charlie Kirk. He better have a lot of security. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, but like I said, we are in the beginning of the psyops. We're in the trauma, making us feel bad, negative. That makes you want immediate action. It makes you want revenge. It makes you want to do a generalization. That's why I'm saying we can't be like, oh, it's all these trannies, it's all these we don't want to do generalizations and react fast. We want to be logical and think about this and take the time to make sure. And if what Bigfoot Michigan Rob said, that speculation is saying the shooter utilized a nearby airport, that means he had a quick, they made sure he had a path to escape. That means this is well planned beyond just some radical lefties. That's what it says to me, and I'm sure we will see more come out, but I wanted to do this stream and remind you guys of what we talked about yesterday with how they tried to perform a psyop on us. And I'm sure we're going to see a whole bunch of stuff released conveniently, about this. And you have to question everything and why it's coming out and who's saying it and what is real. Oh, that's the video of it. You see, they shot him. They've severed his spinal cord and the blood just comes out. He was gone. Oof. Yeah, I don't want to watch it anymore. And Charlie was only 31 years old. He was only 31. He had young children. He had a lot of plans and goals. And I didn't always agree with him on everything, but nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves to be assassinated. No, just nobody deserves it. You'd never wish it on anyone. It's depressing, but like I always say, we can't let this take us down, get us down, and keep us depressed. And we don't want to react if we're upset. We want to act from a place where we're calmer and we're thinking logically, and let's hope they do encounter someone and get him in. But even question that. We should always be questioning these narratives. Let's see if we've got a comment here. John Connor, thank you for showing up. He said, regardless of how anyone is politically, doesn't justify killing or any type of violence. It's right. And when we do that, like I was saying before, the liberals, they always go on about my democracy. Promoting this, doing this, carrying out stuff like this, you're the one destroying your democracy. And don't be surprised if you, doing these actions, that you allow the government to usher in a type of police state. Don't be surprised by it. You're destroying democracy by shutting someone else's freedom of speech. So, wow. I didn't want to do politics on this show, but this is an important thing to talk about because it's up there with some pretty heavy political assassinations. People are saying, oh, he wasn't a politician. He was a political figure. This is a political assassination because he had heavy influence. And I think a certain country didn't like that he was allowing even though he was funded by them. You could tell Turning Point USA was funded by the big eye. And he was allowing people that were saying things against the big eye to come at Turning Point USA events. And I don't think they like that. And he was slowly turning. And like I said, about a month ago, he expressed concerns that if he went against Israel, they could possibly assassinate him. And I'm going to close the show off. I just wanted to talk about that, remind you guys to stay calm and focused. Don't go. I say this, we're not little me's. I don't go to any of these events just because, the logos, everything. I don't go to any of this. It's just too dangerous. We live in such a dangerous world. Don't let them psyop and manipulate us into civil war. Yeah. It would be a tragedy to balkanize us like that. I'm going to end by playing that video again of Jordan Maxwell, and I want you to hear him tell you the importance of Israel and why it's important for America, and then you'll understand. For us, for a lot of religious people, there's a holy aspect to it for you because of the Bible. But for these people in charge who are running the show, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with child trafficking, drugs, oil, diamonds, trade, weapons, mafia. We're literally being run by the mafia. So check it out, guys. I appreciate you. Don't forget to come tomorrow. Bigfoot Michigan Rob's coming on the show, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's about 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain time. We'll be here live talking about Bigfoot and ghosts, something not as depressing. I was generally sickened and sad all day about Charlie Kirk, and bless his family. And I hope, just pray for his wife and everyone to come around here, because I can't imagine what a horrible situation this is for her right now. So check out this video again, and it shows the importance of that. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Same channel. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, share, bookmark this video. And God bless Charlie Kirk.
State of Israel, incredible amounts of money. Why? There's something else going on here, and they haven't told you the whole story. If you were looking down from a satellite, looking down onto the earth, or even higher out than a satellite would be, you would see that the largest single landmass on the earth is from Russia, from the northeast tip of Russia, all the way across to central West Africa, to the West African coast. Then from Ireland, England, all the way across to India. And you crisscross the largest single landmass on the earth. That cross comes right through the city of Jerusalem. That's where it crosses. And so the old ancient Phoenician Canaanites, being the bankers, they said, if you coming through town to do business, Jack, you're going to pay us up front. And so whoever controls Jerusalem controls the flow of oil, drugs, all kinds of products, the flow of gold, diamonds, all the valuable things in the world goes through Jerusalem. That's why it's the holy city. Money, international, monetary world situation set up so that all money, all flowing of business, commerce goes through Jerusalem. That's the name of the tomb. And that's why Jerusalem is so important to the American people. Now, you've got to give the people a reason why Israel is so important. Now, we know that Israel is very important because of strategically where it sits on the trade routes to control the flow of oil, drugs, diamonds, and a lot of drugs in Israel, going through Israel. Major movements of illicit narcotics and drugs through Israel. And diamonds, gold, money, etc., etc. But you've got to give the people who are going to go over there and lose their lives and give their sons in war, you've got to give them a reason. So we tell them that it's religious. It's the Lord's chosen people, the Lord's people. And the Lord himself has chosen Israel. And we give them a line. You'd be surprised what Americans love. They love that kind of stuff. And so we tell them, it's the Lord's will. And the Lord Jesus was there, and all the great prophets and all of that. And so we have to protect that little country, Israel, because it's the Lord's will. So I believe that all of these things which are happening right now in the Middle East, there are many factors involved, obviously. It's not just oil. It's not just money. Those are the cards on the table. When you're laying out the game and you're going to play a game, a high-stakes game, say in Las Vegas, where hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars are laying on the table, and you're playing a high-stakes game, you're going to have the cards you've got that you're playing. Well, one of the cards that's being used in this high-stakes game is, of course, oil. One of them is, of course, drugs. Drugs are very big business in the Middle East and in Europe, and so I feel that the drugs are one card, oil is a second card, the control of money, banking, fraternities, controlling the flow of commerce and business in the world, that's another card on the table. But above the cards are the players only using the cards. And I think the players in this world game that's being laid out for us now are guided not by the cards. They're guided by something else. There's something else going on here. And it has to do with secret societies and ancient